Hey folks, Levi here once again. I hope you enjoyed my revisit review of The Amazing Spider-Man starring Andrew Garfield and Emma Stone. Which, despite some problems, I still like that movie. I think it's underrated. And now, guys, if y'all know, remember my YouTube channel, remember the mask profile picture. I hope the video. I don't know why it looks like this. Yeah, sorry, I'm smoking in here or anything. But anyway, I'm off work today and tomorrow, so I figured I get some reviews in. And what I've been doing, guys, I've been doing. Remember my YouTube channel with the mask profile picture on it. And thank you for the 164 subs, guys. Keep on subscribing. I appreciate it. Thank you for the support. It does mean the world to me. Just to let you know, it means a lot. I appreciate you watching, and thank you so much for the support. And also, support other YouTubers as well. You know, yeah, yeah. It's always just nice to have support. You know. Oh, I did. I forgot to mention. I don't put up with rude comments. I think it was on my review of one. I think it was one of the Marvel movies. Somebody saying, "Bro, like, what the f is this, bro?" And I'm like, so any troll comments like that will be deleted. So any rude comments, I delete and you will be blocked. Or just deleted. And I'll probably never hear from you again, which is good. But I have no time for that on here, okay? I don't have time for childish comments. Yeah. If you're gonna comment, comment like an adult, you know, maturely and common sense in your brain to tell you to be nice, polite, and learn some manners. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And you can't just cuss at people on YouTube or on their channel. I think that's disrespectful, but that's just me. But anyway, guys, what I've been doing here is on my superhero marathon on my YouTube channel. I've been doing the 2010 era superhero reviews. These are superhero movies that came out in the year 2010 to 2019, and now I'm starting with the year 2013, which 2013, that was not really a good year for movies. I remember that decade, yeah, it wasn't. There were a lot of films that were not good. Some were, very little. I did review the Batman: The Dark Knight Returns Part 2. That was actually the first movie of 2013. It's a lot better than this movie, in my opinion. And some other movies on here, they're going to get good positive reviews in 2013. Some are going to be rants. Right now, this one's going to be review slash rant. This is a 2013 superhero film. The third film in this trilogy is a sequel to Iron Man and Iron Man 2, and the seventh film in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, the MCU, that is directed by Shane Black and co-written by Drew Pearce, and that stars Robert Downey Jr., Gwyneth Paltrow, Don Cheadle, Guy Pearce, and Ben Kingsley, and that is a review slash rant for Iron Man 3, which I did not care for them now. Listen up. I didn't hate this movie. I remember when this film came out. I remember, after the Avengers, like, what is going to be the next big MCU movie? And now we're getting an Iron Man movie, and I think this was their plan for a final installment for the Iron Man films. We never got Iron Man 4 after this. And if this movie did make money, it's because it was after the Avengers, because when I saw this film in theaters, my family, it was crowded. It was crazy. Lines were lined up outside. It was mad. It was crazy time. I had my brother, my dad and brother, I think my sister too at the time, but we had to see the movie differently because, well, I got to sit up there. These people were nice enough to let me sit up in their row, but they had like two kids that were going to get popcorn, so my brother and dad had to go sit in front there to do this. Watching this movie with their heads like this, I felt sorry for them. I kind of wish now we just would have kind of regret doing that to them. And I regret seeing this movie in theaters, but again, I just remember being excited for it. And they're going to have the Mandarin, who was a big villain. And honestly, it was disappointing into the Iron Man trilogy. It's not the worst superhero movie ever, but I would say I like the Wolverine more. I know people are going to hate me for this, but I like Man of Steel more. Yes. Why? Because you get the guy more in the suit. You get a lot more action. Yeah. I do like Robert Downey Jr. and Gwyneth Paltrow, Don Cheadle. They're good performances. They are not my problem. It's the writing that's the problem that I freaking have with this movie in the direction it went. But anyway, let's get into the direction of it. Shane Black says, truthfully, the way you go about doing a part three, if you're in a position, as I'm lucky enough to be, is to find a way that the first two weren't done yet. You have to find a way to make sure the story that emerging is still ongoing, and by the time you finish three, be something resembling the culmination of a trilogy. It's about how the story's not been yet told, completely told, and I think we're getting there. I think we really found ways to make this feel organic and new based on what I've come before, and that's what I'm happy about. Following the release of Iron Man 2, a conflict between Paramount Pictures, which had distributed rights to certain Marvel comic properties, the Walt Disney Company, Marvel Entertainment, and its new corrupt parent, clouded the timing and the dispersion arrangement of a possible third film. On October 18, 2010, Walt Disney Studios agreed to pay Paramount at least $115 million with worldwide distribution for Iron Man 3 with Disney Worldwide and Paramount announcing a May 3rd, 2013 release date for the film. Iron Man and Iron Man 2 director Jon Favreau said in December 2010 that he would not direct Iron Man 3, which I hate that. But it feels like in this movie, Jon Favreau, he's an executive producer though. He remains an executive producer, so he's still involved. And he plays Happy Hogan again in this third film, but barely does anything. Bedridden in most of the movie. Well, you know what I'm talking about. You've seen the movie. Option to direct Magic Kingdom instead. He remained as executive producer though of director Josh Whedon's crossover for The Avengers, and also serves as producer, like I said, on this film. Downey reached out to Shane Black, who directed him in Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, which I like that movie. He did that movie with Val Kilmer, who also was Batman in Batman Forever. And I will say this: I think Batman Forever is even better than this movie, and even Superman 3 I think is better. Black entered February 2011. Black entered film negotiations to join the project, and in March he was announced that Drew Pearce, whom Marvel originally hired for a Runaway script, will work with Black on the script. Downey said, "Bringing in Shane Black to write and direct Iron Man 3 to me is basically not the only transition from Jet Favreau to the next thing. Favreau and the audience and Marvel and I could ever officially sign off on. Black was officially hesitant to work with Pearce in the film, preferring to work with a writing partner of his own, but after we could discuss the film again and know one another, agreed to write the film with him. Black described his take out of the film as not being two men in iron suits fighting each other, and more like a Tom Clancy thriller, with Iron Man fighting real people with type villains. Pierce said that they would avoid magic in space, with Iron Man 3 being a techno thriller set in a more real world than even the Avengers. The duo spent some time discussing themes and imagining ideas before starting the script. While writing, the focus was to avoid scenes of pure explosion, make every moment probable over narrative points forward. Some elements from the comics we used even in different connections, such as making Rhodes wear Norman Osborn Patriot armor, and naming him some characters with names from a related Marvel universe, such as Eric Saban and Jack Taggart. The film's plot is influenced by primarily the Extremeness comic storyline, written by Warren Ellis. The first two acts will remain character-centric, and Black's were more hectic, more frantic, and large. Its sequel obligations, with the third act going on for over-the-top action, what appears described as giving a sense of opera. The middle act was compared to Sullivan's travels and having Tony meeting various people onto his journey, and the writers made sure to not make the characters too similar. The draft had Maya Hansen herself leading the villainous operation, as the Mandarin and Killian emerging as antagonists in later versions of the script. During one of the writing sessions, Pierce suggested that the Mandarin was a fake. Stupid. And Black agreed by going with making him an actor. Sorry. Which in turn Pierce derailed as an overrated British stage performer. Black explained, "Who would you be fool enough to declare that he's a national terrorist? If you're smart, whatever imagine you're part of, you're not a puppet committee and remain in your house." In turn, Killian would hide Trevor Slattery in his own frat house and kind of a drug-related house arrest to keep the secret alive. According to Black, the reveal of the actual villain being Henson was riveting still. You think it's the man, but at the end, the woman has been running the whole show. The role was eventually shifted to Killian because of the objections of Marvel Entertainment executives who were concerned about merchandising losses that could come with having a female villain. The roles of several other major female characters were also made smaller in the final film compared to earlier drafts. Both the opening and ending of the film were worked in various ways. First, it began with a flashback to Tony's childhood, thinking Iron Man would be in media risk with Tony crashing in Tennessee before a voiceover that would lead to how he got there until it got changed to the final version. For the battle, it was originally considered that Brant would show up in the James Bond tradition of the henchmen coming back for the heroes. Instead, they chose to use Killian himself and have Pepper, whom he abused earlier, cause his downfall as a way of poetic justice. The final dialogue was originally written as I am Tony Stark, to be responsible to the first film's ending, but changed to I am Iron Man. Hence the mystical qualities. On setting the film around Christmas, like I said, I think it's the sense that you're doing something that interesting scale that involves entire universe of characters. One way to unite them, something that gives everybody, and it's already set a stage within the stage. Iron Man film set around Christmas time. Okay, that's nice. Pre-production. September 2000, Marvel Studios reached out an agreement to shoot the film permanently of EU Screen Gem Studios in Wilmington, North Carolina. Michigan was also land the production. North Carolina's Ben Kingsley entered negotiations to play villain in Iron Man 3, but then Mackie, who later portrayed Sam Wilson, also auditioned for the part. But he did, get the part of Sam Wilson, aka the Falcon, and Captain America: The Winter Soldier, which is a lot better than this movie in my opinion. The following week, producer Kevin Feige revealed Iron Man 3 will be begun shooting in North Carolina in 5 weeks, and that it was full-on Tony Stark-centric movie, very much inspired by the first half of Iron Man. Sure to everything, he's backed up against the wall. He's got to use intelligence to get out of it. He can't call Thor. He can't call Cap. Can't call him for. Did he need to call them in the first two movies? No. A few days later, the MG Entertainment announced an agreement to co-produce Iron Man 3 in China. Yeah, Marvel Studios co-president Lewis got down in the sense they did not want to film the future the sidekick from Indiana Jones Temple of Doom. The next week, Guy Pearce entered the final talks to play Archer Killian, a character who's a feature in the stream's comic book story arc. Jessica Chastain entered in discussions for a role in the film, but bowed out due to scheduling conflicts. But she sadly did go on to be an X-Men Dark Phoenix, which is much worse than this movie. Rebecca Hall was cast in her place, and her role was described as a scientist who plays a role in the creation of the nanotechnology known as extremeless. Film began in Wilmington, North Carolina on May 23rd, 2012, while working title Caged Heat. John Travolta opportunity to work with digital cameras for the first time in his career. From June 4th to June 6th, 2012, filming took place in Cary, North Carolina, at the Epic Games headquarters, with a large Christmas tree set up on the front lawn. From July 19th to August 1st, 2012, filming took place on Oakville Island, North Carolina, to film over the Atlantic Ocean, where they were done for the scene where Iron Man rescues the people falling from the Air Force One over Miami, which was originally a vision done with green screen effects. Cast and crew began arriving in Florida on October to shoot scenes in Daytona Beach, around South Florida. Danny returned to the set after his ankle injury. Filming began in China on December 10th. Filming was scheduled to wrap a week later, December 17th, 2012. In January 2010, it was reported that Shane Black, a film crew led by Shane Black, will begin location scouting in Hybrid and Indiana. Post production, some of the special effects, like for Mark 42 armor. Yeah. Chris Townsend served as visual effects supervisor for the film, which featured 2,000 visual effects shots and were worked on by 17 studios, both digital domain, a lot of visual effects works on this movie. The film's production was delayed following Downey's leg injury. For certain shots, they were forced to create double for Downey. Yeah, Downey explained that the effects, I guess he got hurt on scene and they had to replace him with a stunt double because he was the star and they can't have the star of their movie get hurt because they can shut down the project. So yeah, they probably said, even though I'm sure Robert Downey probably does it, must have been something. They probably told him, no, Robert, you can't do it because they can't afford him to get hurt. It would shut down a production for a movie, and the movie has a budget, so it would cost money. But for the marketing of the movie, of course, you had the trailer. I remember the trailer being big. Tony walking in the snow or just taking his mask off. You had some food marketing. Subway, I guess, sort of like something for the Subway. You had a gift card for Iron Man 3. Yeah. Subway did some of the marketing for the movie. Yeah. You have Iron Man 3 bags or whatever. I think I remember the marketing being crazy a little bit for this movie. You McDonald's Iron Man 3, they have Power Meals. McDonald's has some stuff for marketing the movie as well. Yeah. I think they really wanted to heavily market the movie because like I said, the Avengers made money. Of course, Iron Man 3 had a video game which I've never played. On the platform is Android. The game plays as an runner Temple Run. The players control Tony Stark in his Iron Man armor through the game's realization. It seems like a pretty cool game. It seems like you get to be more of Iron Man and Iron Man is in this movie. It follows the events after the events of Iron Man 3. Tony Stark discovers the AIM is still around and still causing trouble, so I guess he's got to like stop them. More of the villains. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Anyway, the marketing was crazy, and for the cast of the movie, of course, you have Robert Downey Jr. come back as Tony Stark, Iron Man. He's an Avenger, self-described genius, billionaire playboy, philanthropist with a suit of armor, and he's an Iron Man. He struggles. He now struggles to come to terms with his near-death experience in the Avengers. Yeah, he's got like PTSD in this movie. Robert Downey Jr. He's done other movies as well, even before Iron Man. Let's say Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. He worked with that and with Shane Black. Yeah, I think he was in Back to School with Rodney Dangerfield. Gwyneth Paltrow's Pepper Potts, Stark's girlfriend, longtime associate, and the current CEO of Stark Industries. But I love Gwyneth Paltrow. She's a great actress. I liked her in Shallow Hal with Jack Black. Cuckoo. No, I was kidding. Can't do it right. But the talented Mr. Ripley. And yeah, Country Song. She's done quite a bit of movies. Good actress though. Don Cheadle as James Rhodes Rhodes. I'm gonna call him War Machine. Iron Patient. It's just stupid. Oh, sorry, Iron Patient is a character. Okay, whatever. And of course, Don Cheadle replaced yeah, replaced Terrence Howard from the first movie. He was in the Ocean's trilogy, Traffic, Out of Sight with George Clooney, in Blue Dress, Hamburger Hill, Boogie Nights. I think he was also in A Family Man with Nicolas Cage. Yeah, and I think he was also in an episode of Fresh Prince of Bel Air. And Guy Pearce is our Aldrich Killian, the creator of the extremeness virus. He's the founder. He actually is the Mandarin. Yeah, Pierce. I mean, I liked him in Two Brothers, but I didn't like him in here. He was also in another superhero movie in 2020s. That was a Bloodshot with Vin Diesel, and that film was awful. If not just as worse, even worse than this. He's in Covenant, King's Speech, and Times Machine. I can't think of too many, but I liked him in Two Brothers. That was like in 2002. Rebecca Hall as Maya Henson. She was genetic, whose work Killian and create extremists. I don't know if I was a really fan of this actress. Sorry, did not care for her in here. Yeah, Tiffany Thuge as Ellen Brent. Let's see, beautiful looking actress though. Oh, she was in R.I.P.D. Yay! That film came out this same year, and that was even worse than this movie. Yeah, James Basedale as Eric Seven, Killing Extreme's powered henchman. He was in 13 Hours Secret of Benghazi, The Grey, with Lemmy Neeson. Can't think too many. William Sadler as Matthew Ellis. William Sadler, great actor. He was the villain in Die Hard 2, Die Harder. He was Death and Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey. He was in Shawshank Redemption. He was Senator Vernon Trent and Hard to Kill with Steven Seagal. Better movies in my opinion. Better shot movies. Better action films. And like I said, Die Hard 2. He was in that. Yeah, or just Die Hard 2, whatever. But Die Hard 2, awesome sequel. A lot better movie than this. And Miguel Ferrer Rodriguez, the Vice President. Uh, you probably should know him as Bob Morton from RoboCop. Yeah. And he was in Hot Shots Part 2 and Blank Check. And the show NCIS Los Angeles. That was one of his last moments in his career being in that show. He was in Star Trek 3, The Search for Spock, playing a first officer in that. But again, for me, I always remember his Bob Morton as RoboCop. You're gonna be a bad motherfucker. Yeah. Yeah. And RoboCop is better than this movie. And Jon Favreau is Happy Hogan. Joe Favreau, let's say he's been in the movies. He was in Daredevil, the 2003 film. Honestly, I can say I like Daredevil, especially the director's cut more than this movie, but that's just me. I liked him, and he was in Rudy from 1993. Daredevil, The Replacements, break the breakup with Vince Vaughn. I think he's worked with Vince Vaughn in some movies. And he returned as Happy Hogan, of course, in Avengers of Ultron, Spider-Man Homecoming, and Avengers Infinity War, and Avengers Endgame, Spider-Man Far From Home, and Spider-Man No Way Home, and Deadpool Wolverine. I guess he was either in that or producer in that. And Ben Kingsley as Trevor Slade. Ben Kingsley, good actor, I would say. Yeah. I haven't seen him in a lot of movies, but well, I liked him in Night at the Museum 3, which came out the year after this. Oh, he was in Shang-Chi Legend of the Ten Rings. Let me guess, was he Trevor again? I don't even want to look it up. I haven't seen that Marvel movie. And Paul Bettany reprised his role as Jarvis. Ty Simpkins portrays Harley Kenner, who's a kid in the movie that helps Tony. Yeah, he was in Jurassic World. Yeah, terrible in that he was. Yeah, and here he's alright. Stan Lee has a cameo in the movie as a beauty pageant judge, which was funny. I thought. Yeah, it's always good. No matter how you feel about the Marvel movie, at least it was good to see Stan Lee in it. Iron Man 3 premiered at the Grand Prix in Paris. Premiered at the Grand Rex and let me slow down. On April 14, 2013, and were released on May 3rd. This was actually Phase 2 of the MCU. Phase 1 ended with the Avengers. It's the second highest grossing film of 2013 and the 16th film to gross over $1 billion. The film is directed by Shane Black and also written by him. Now he's written such a film as Lethal Weapon, The Monster Squad, The Last Boy Scout. Let's see, let's go through this. Yeah, he wrote scripts for great movies like Lethal Weapon, The Monster Squad, Lethal Weapon 2, The Last Boy Scout. I love those movies. Last Action Hero. I like Action Hero. Last Action Hero with Arnold. I love that movie. And I like Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. That's a very enjoyable film. It's an underrated movie. Never seen Long Kiss Goodnight, but I will watch it over this. I'll give it a chance. The Nice Guys I haven't seen. The Predator, which I thought sucked. And acting wise, he played Hawkins in Predator. Yeah. And he produced some movies like Wild Wild West, Death Note, The Destroyer, Hobbs and Shaw. His acting credits, though, he was in RoboCop 3. He had a small part in that. He was as good as it gets. He was Brian, the KHF 24 manager, telling Jack Nicholson, to get out because of his strange behavior. And like I said, he was Hawkins, the first guy to get killed by the Predator and Predator. He was also did a voice work in Agent Carter. So yeah. But like I said, Shane Black, I do love the Last Action Hero movie with Arnold. I love the Last Boy Scout, Lethal Weapon 1 and 2, and Monster Squad. I love those movies. Really good films. Drew Pierce, let's see. Okay, he wrote the scripts for Mission Impossible Rogue Nation, which I enjoy. I don't like Carol Hobbs and Shaw. Yeah. Hotel Artemis, which I have not seen that. And most recently, The Fall Guy, he wrote that. A Space Iron Man created by Stan Lee, Don Heck, Larry Lieber, and Jack Kirby. Produced by Kevin Feige, has produced many of the MCU movies, starting with Iron Man. Let's see. Oh, okay, yeah. And he still produces some of the MCU movies. He was production assistant and assistant producer. From what I heard, he was the guy that, well, let's see, he worked on Volcano, You Got Mail, that was with the disaster movie starring Tom Lee Jones, and You Got Mail was starring Tom Hanks and Meg Ryan. Yeah, he was the guy that got the coffee, but he was an executive producer, producers on a couple of Marvel animated movies and Marvel movies, and some Marvel TV shows. And of course, thanks to him, we've got the MCU as well. Cinematography by John Toll. Sorry. Let's see, I'm looking. Well, the Matrix Resurrections, which was for 2021. Jupiter Ascending, which I heard was terrible. It's edited by Jeffrey Ford and Peter S. Elliott. The guy who worked for who did, yeah. He also edited 1 Hour Photo. That stars like Robin Williams. Music is by Brian Tyler. I know that name before. Okay, he did the music score for The Hunted, starring Tom Lee Jones and Benedict Torrio. Sorry, I can't ever say his name right, but good actor. Final Cut. That was a Robin Williams movie. Constantine, 2005. Oh, he did the music. Okay. Composed with Claudius Blood. Yeah. He worked on that movie. Fast and Furious Tokyo Drift. Alien Predator. Rambo. Okay, Rambo 4. Yeah, he did the music for that. Love the score in that movie. And the first Expendables movie, so he's worked with Stallone in Expendables 2. Because Stallone, I think, directed the first two Expendables. Yeah, he did. And of course, this movie. And he did the music score for Expendables 3 and Teenage Mutant Turtles and Thor the Dark World a little bit. Avengers Age of Ultron, he did I guess, composed with Danny Elfman. So I'm sorry if I'm saying it wrong. Power Rangers 2017 film with Fate the Furious. The Mummy remake or reboot with Tom Cruise. And Rumble Last Blood and Scream 2022 and Scream 6. Alright, production companies and Marvel Studios. Distributed by Walt Disney Studio Motion Pictures. It was released May 3rd, 2013. It's 131 minutes long, about 2 hours and 10 minutes long. The budget to make the movie was $200 million. Box office made $216 million worldwide. Yeah, but okay, I've talked about the marketing. Okay, let's talk about the plot synopsis for Iron Man 3. Alright, what the film is about. It takes, like, I think a couple months after. I believe it's a couple months after the Avengers. Let me make sure to read that real quick, sorry. But it does take place, of course, after the events of the Avengers. Yeah. I mean, I said the film told me the timeline, but okay. Could have been, what, 2 years ago, maybe? The Avengers timing. But anyway, with the story that Tony Stark in this movie, he gets played with worry and insomnia since saving New York from destruction. When he grabbed the missile, thrown into the, alien, the other universe, the parallel universe that he threw it in, it kind of gives him PTSD. He can't sleep. He's having nightmares. It takes a bit of a toll on him. Because unlike the rest of the Avengers, he's just, well, a normal man. He's doing that kind of gave him, he just said the word, but Tony Stark is now more dependent on the suits that give him his Iron Man persona. So much, though, that aspect of his life is affected. Now he's in a relationship with Pepper, of course, like I said, they're in a relationship. We did see some of Pepper in the beginning of, and, well, we saw her maybe just in two scenes of the Avengers, but she's in full blown in this movie, of course, it's Iron Man movie. They're in a relationship now, and after an enemy known as the Mandarin, who played by Ben Kingsley, who the Mandarin is a terrorist. Yeah, right here, the Mandarin. He's a terrorist. He's killed a lot of people. He's dangerous. Yeah. Reduces his personal world to rubble. Tony must rely solely on instinct to avenge his losses and protect the people he loves because the Mandarin throws an attack on Chinatown. He attacks Happy Hogan and he attacks Stark's home. Stark's home gets Tony nearly gets killed and Pepper do. And he has to rebuild. He has to rebuild his suit, and he has to find the Mandarin and defeat him and take him down and stop him, and save Pepper, and pretty much save the world from this terrorist known as the Mandarin. But there will be more spoilers in this review, and you find out there's something much deeper going on here, more than meets the eye. So, yeah, we'll get more into that as we review the movie, okay? Any questions, him, though? Stark discovers that the answer to the question that has secretly haunted him, though. Does the man make the suit, or does the suit make the man? Alright, I'll talk about the movie itself and give my final thoughts on it. And this is a review slash rant because I just don't care for this movie. And I don't hate this movie. This is not full blown ever like I'm saying no. It's definitely a lot better than X Men Dark Phoenix or X Men Apocalypse or First Class. And X Men Origins Wolverine is better than those. But again, I'd rather watch Tim Burton's Batman films. I hate me for saying this, but I'd rather watch the Joe Schumacher Batman films over this. I'd rather even watch Batman Begins over this, but that's just me. Or even The Dark Knight, but that's just me. Despite those movies' problems, at least I have Heath Ledger, who's a better villain in here, in that movie. Yeah, and there's, I can, and again, Man of Steel I think is better. Because at least we get Superman in the suit, and there's more action in that with the suit, you know. Yeah. But anyway, Iron Man 3 starts off with Tony Stark narrating, and you see, like, the suit's blowing up. Yeah, how he lost everything. Saying how it all started, though. It's a New Year's Eve party in 1999. This is where you see Rebecca Hall. He's partying with her. He's meeting people. You meet Jensen, who he would meet in the cave. If you remember, Jensen said that, if you remember in the first Iron Man movie, when Tony was in the cave with Jensen, he said, "We met once, but you probably just too drunk to remember." That's the scene we get it. And it was played alright. And of course, Happy Hogan, I like that he's got the goatee. You have Edward Killian, who promotes a company, which is called AIM, which is called Advanced Idea and Mechanics. But Stark decides to research another Operation Extremeness with Maya Hansen and Rebecca Host. Maya Hansen, who believes she misleads Killian into believing he was interested in his ideas. He sends him to the roof, never intending to show up. And, he's just annoying at first because he comes up with the glasses and he's got the yellow, the Goldilocks hair. Kind of like Jim Carrey. Yeah, he's basically, or Killian in this movie is just Guy Pearce. He's just Jim Carrey in this movie. Like I said, spoiler alert, he's the real villain of the movie. I don't care to spoil it. Spoilers in your face for this movie. Yeah, you're gonna find out a big spoiler in this movie. If you were thinking we're gonna have, the Mandarin is like an awesome villain, and they totally screwed him up in here. Yeah, but the Invincible Iron Man, I remember Mandarin being more of a threat. But like I said, Killing Charge is like, Mr. Stark, I'm a big fan of yours. Yeah, Mr. Stark, I'm a big fan of yours. Like, oh, Tony Stark. No, that's my name, and you are. I honestly thought he was gonna pull something out and be like this. Wow, the aim mechanics machine that will fix the world. Extremeness. I'm like, I was thinking, and then he's waiting on the roof. They say Happy New Year. She talks to Tony about her extremist project. You hear like the fireworks. Happy freaks out and jumps on Tony. He's like, "We're gonna see Happy New Year," and he's sitting there waiting. I'm thinking, is he gonna say the line from Jim Carrey's movie from Batman Forever? Is he gonna say, "You, I thought you'd understand. I'll make you understand." Yeah. So he's just out revenge. Or you say he's basically Tony Stark's number one fan. Just like in The Incredibles, Mr. Incredible's number one fan was Buddy, and Buddy went on to become. Yeah, but you know what? Syndrome was a better villain. Jim Carrey's really, yeah, okay, you could say he's over the top and hams it up as like Ace Ventura and the Mask kind of, but he's more entertaining to watch. And I'm sorry, say what you will, but a lot of these superhero movies, they do copy Jim Carrey's Edward Nigma. Basically, that's all he is Edward Nigma. You know. But anyway, he waits on the roof, he never shows up. Then you get to it was then you hit 13 years later. Tony's like, I'm a changed man now. He says power suits on. I like, when he plays a little Christmas music, that was kind of cool. He's dancing. He can get the suit to come to him, which I thought was cool. He does his backward flip jump. Well, first of all, he messes up the suit, and I was like, yeah, but that was cool. But my problem with this movie, you barely get Iron Man suit. I get it. Maybe Shane Black and the right and Drew Pierce, they wanted to show that he can still be Iron Man without a suit. I get it, but do it in a better way. In this movie, they just make it into a joke and with a lame storyline. Yeah. Pepper, well, of course, Tony Dillon, he's been up for 72 hours. He works, is what he do. He works in his basement, what he does best. Building stuff, building machines, being a mechanic. That's what Tony does best. Uh, you meet Ultra's Killian again when she has Happy Hogan as her bodyguard or has security. They've had something in place, but Pepper talks to him. He tells her about it. He said, I went to Tony about this years ago, but now since Tony didn't have anybody, see if you're interested, she's like, well, I'm sorry, Killian. No, I'm not interested. And he tells her goodbye, and she gets kind of creepy vibe from him. And Happy figures thinks they're suspicious. I forgot to mention he gives Tony a call about it. He tells him, you may Archie kill it, Rich Killian. You remember he was like, yeah, I remember him. They talk and Tony just ignores him. And James Ward gets a War Machine. Instead of War Machine, they think he's too brutal, so he becomes a Captain America inspired paint job renamed Iron Giant, which does not work for his character. And you get the TV on, you get this terrorist called, like I said, the Mandarin, played by Ben Kingsley, who is threatening people and wants the president deal with the president, whatever. Stark meets up Rose in the diner, and the two talk about the Mandarin. He's about to call Tony a dick, and these kids show is like, they want an autograph. He's like, what's that in the warm room? Tony freaks out. almost has an anxiety attack. These intelligent agents, they have been left mystified by the lack of physical evidence left behind, and they don't want to start to get involved, even though I think you should. Government has been, they've been nervous since the Shirati invasion. Even though the Avengers saved us, I don't know why the government were not even involved. I'm like, the president should give Tony a call. I'm like, first of all, he did save America from, you know, another terrorist attack in Iron Man 2 when Mickey Rourke, you know, Ivan was going to hurt a lot of people. He saved a lot of people. And, again, he earned, they should have gave Stark a medal at the end of the Avengers because he saved the world. I'm like thinking, why would the president, William Sadler does fine in the movie, does what he can with the bad script he's been given. But they should have, you know, in my opinion, what they should have done with this movie, yeah, have the PTS dealt with a little more. You want to question, is it the suit that makes Iron Man or is it the man that makes the suit? The film doesn't really explore that enough, in my opinion. You could have had Iron Man go after the Mandarin for a battle going on, have him deal with it. Maybe Pepper get kidnapped, Happy get hurt, or even Rose get hurt, and Tony fully has to blow, and Iron Man has to fight a lot with all his powers and him fighting with his machines. That would have been so much of a better movie, in my opinion. You know, Pepper comes home. I like Tony's got the bunny, with the boobs and stuff. I thought that was hilarious. Uh, They talk, and of course he can now, control an Iron Man suit, but like having, like an armor phase on it, like on his face, like a quarter on his face or whatever. The technology stuff I'm not really expert in, but still really cool. Then I him and Pepper go to bed. He talks about, so, hey, I can't sleep, I can't eat barely, I'm having nightmares. The whole thing would happen, happening with PTSD. He has a nightmare about his near death experience. Pepper, him and Pepper are sleeping in the bed. He's having a nightmare, and she's like, "Tony, you okay, Tony?" And the Iron Man suit nearly attacks her, and Tony wakes up like, stand down," and Tony hits it, knocks down. He's like, "I'm sleeping in the living room. You just go play with your parts, whatever, something like that." And Tony's like, "Yeah." But anyway, Happy Hogan, who's promoted to Stark Industries as head security, since he doesn't need him since Iron Man totally needed a bodyguard, becomes suspicious of killing his bodyguard Eric Saban. He goes to falls into the Chinese theater, like a spy. He witnesses Jack Tarrant. He destroys this Chinese theater. Well, he sees his looking face turning orange a little bit. He say, "You and your friend, yeah, I got to record it." And they fight a bit, but he's able to Happy Hogan out. And Jack Tarrant's like, "Help me, help me!" And he blows up. And Happy Hogan gets killed in here. I mean, Happy Hogan gets injured, but he doesn't die. He's up in the hospital. Tony's upset. Has like his TV show on. And stupidly, you can say he's angry, but Tony, says, "You know what, Manager? I'm coming after you. Love's our pal. You want to come for me? Come for me. Don't harm my loved ones." And he tells him his address, which is stupid. Now, I've heard people say, "Well, he's dealt with terrorists, so a little terrorist is nothing." Hardly nothing. Terrorists that has been killing people, and now has come to America and had done an attack, and you call that nothing? Who has killed millions, billions of people? How many people the manager has killed? You know, and you're not saying it's a big deal, and you stupidly give his address. That was stupid. Defend that all you want, but I disagree. It was stupid for him to do that in the first place. You know. Yeah, and you know what? They should have dealt with magic and mystical stuff, but they didn't because Shane Black and Drew didn't want to deal with it. Because they didn't want to deal with that. We just want to avoid that. Have you not seen the Thor movie from 2011? Shane Black. Have you not seen Thor? And you wrote the movie The Monster Squad. You said that's kind of like mystical, magical with monsters and stuff. But no, we can't have that. And it worked in the Avengers. The magic mystical works in Thor. And those movies still made money. The Avengers was a great movie. Apparently, you didn't watch that to how to make a good movie. Yeah. But anyway, Rebecca Hall's character, Mary Hansen, whatever her name is, comes to visit. Tell him that she knows what the manager's up to. She because her boss is working for the manager, which is spoiler alert, Killian. And Tony's like, I don't remember you. He takes his suit off. They're arguing about leaving or not. Then the place gets attacked. The Stark's home gets attacked because he namely told him that his address. But I'm guessing Killian probably knew it already. He attacked, and Pepper gets in the suit, which I kind of thought was cool. And she runs, she goes to the Red Hall. They run out, and in the Avengers Endgame, you do get to see Pepper wear a suit, which is cool. That's awesome. You know, the Endgame was a lot better than this. Yeah, it's longer, but much better movie, story wise and stuff. But anyway, she runs out. She, hits the blaster on the other side, and Tony gets the suit. And he fights a little bit, which is cool, but it's not enough. He gets crumpled on the ground, falls in the water. He almost dies. He ends up going to in CGI land, the water. He jumps out of the water, escapes, lands in Tennessee, passed out. And Tony, of course, has to take the mask off, and Jarvis shuts down, so he has to walk to the town quietly. Rose Hill, Tennessee, which Jarvis follows a flight plan left in his system. Uh, Pepper thinks he's dead. She's crying. She's in an Iron Man suit holding it, and sees that's kind of going on. She puts it on her head, and she finds out Tony's still alive. And her Rebecca Hall, she questions her about her boss Killian, what he's up to, and they go to like a hotel or whatever, but just to hide from the manager. Uh, Tony goes to this kid Harley's place. You know, he's like, freeze. That's a potato gun. I was like, not gonna hurt me. I was like, how you doing, kid? He's like, so where's your mom and dad at? Well, my father left something years ago. So you deal with bullies? Yes, I'm for you. He do something. He's like, no need to be a pussy, but I'm like, really? You should have called kid that. But anyway, yeah. And Tony, has to kind of fix his Iron Man suit. I'm sorry, this Iron Man suit I think is pretty lame. I hate to say it, but I do think it is. The first Iron Man suit and Iron Man 2 when it was like and then Iron Man, in the Avengers suit was much better. You got plenty of Iron Man, especially in the Avengers and Age of Ultron. Yeah, he has it in his garage. They go for a walk. He tells them about this kid named I think Chad Davis, who ends up killing himself. Each of the major explosions were triggered by the soldiers that were injected with extremeness. It's this experiment treatment engineered by Matt Henson. Extremists have a fatal flaw. In the event the user is unable to regulate their internal body temperature, they will start to gain heat, rate, and explode. Um, but Stark goes talk to Mrs. Davis, the son of Chad Davis, telling him he didn't kill himself. He is attacked by Helen Brandt. He meets earlier in Eric Saban. Ellen Brandt, she tries to arrest him. She gets, use her powers on these cops. And sees Eric Saban again, who smiles at him. And the kid throws a snowball at him, which I thought was kind of cool. Tony gets away, though, nearly. He fights with Ellen Brandt, good actress, but she's wasted here. She gets killed off in a crappy way. And the CGI, I'm sorry, I hate to say it, but the CGI is awful. I want to talk about the CGI being bad for the Amazing Spider-Man. Well, when the extremist people, the soldiers, when they go off, they're like Terminators, T-1000. So what this film does is ruin that. Oh, it's not magical and mist, but we have people who have, you know, but you might as well rip off the Terminator, huh? So they're trying to go more into science fiction, which is with Iron Man, but in here it's done the lame way. And the CGI was bad. She gets killed off. He fights civilian, I guess. So Ben's about to kill the kid, but Tony's able to, you know, shoot a piece of the Iron Man blaster hand at him. He investigates more of the Mandarin's actions, and he sneaks into this guy's car. I mean, van. He's like, "You're Tony Stark. Wow, I got my hair named after you." And all that. Yeah, yeah. And he helps him with the engine. You see this when you see the beauty pageant and Stan Lee's cameo, which I liked. Um, but he sees how these people were affected, including Ellen Brent, the woman that attacked him, and the Jack Taggart guy was infected. All the soldiers were once members of Advanced Idea Mechanics, which is AIM Killigan's company. So he used that killing and updating extremists and distributed the program to the manager for his terror attacks. That they call him the master, and and Ben Kingsley just got the hood on. He's like, "Give me ready." He's like, "Mr. President, call me in 1/2 hour." He does sound threatening. You'll never see me coming. And he's gonna shoot this guy. And the president does call him William Statler does, but he shoots the guy. He's like, "Call Rhodes." And Iron Patriot goes after these guys. You know, Tony calls him, asking for his password. He, War Machine rocks 8-6 or whatever, and people laugh. He's like, shit, which I thought was kind of funny. And he says these ladies like, "Oh, they're not dangerous." One lady's like, "Thank you, thank you," and she's extremist, and he's taken down like that, like a wimp. I hate to say it, but I'm sorry. So, sort of blows him off here. But Killian arrives eventually. He kidnaps Potts. You know, Tony's able to track the Mandarin to Miami. He, which I like though. I'll admit he does build some cool equipment, mechanic. So he builds some stuff. He does, when the kid mentions it again, he's like, "Well, Tony, you're a mechanic." He's like, "Well, thank you. Those words help." And I like the moments when he's kind of, you know, shoots him like with this gun just to pass him out. And that was some cool shots, but Tony gets captured because and you see the Mandarin, which is Trevor, Clever Kiss is like, "Whoa, dude, he's a smoke talking dude." He's like, "I'm just an actor, dude. I'm just an actor. I just play around. I'm just an actor." And this is embarrassing. I'm like, really? And again, like I said, they copied the Dark Knight Rises doing this. Shane Black did. Yes, y'all, yeah, they must have seen the Dark Knight Rises copied it because they wasn't the real villain in that movie. It was Talia. And in this movie, it's not the Mandarin. It's just Aldrich Killian. He's the real villain. So yeah, if you've seen the Invincible Iron Man, remember how magical and a mist that was, kind of like magical in elements and stuff. Yeah, they take that away in this movie extremely. Are they going for the realistic approach? I'm like, not working. I don't know too much about the Mandarin, but it seems like he's a very powerful villain, maybe with mystical powers, all mystical. But they don't do that in here. They just turn the character into a joke. I remember in Invincible Iron Man, the character was more of a threat, you know. But not in here. In here, he's a joke. They capture him. And Kelly talks about, "I thank you, Tony. You gave me this inspiration. You inspired me. You know, Killian uses the veteran's death to cover up the flaws in the extremist administration of the terrorist plot. Rose and Killian's motivations. Sharp blames himself for setting Killian on the path that would only see him create the Mandarin. Killian reveals he has kidnapped Pepper and suggests the extremist treatment, using her as a leverage against Stark. When Hanson regenerates Killian, she tries to sabotage, the program. She's like, "I'm gonna kill myself if you don't do it." Rebecca Hall does so stupidly, and guess what? Killian just shoots her dead. And Tony's got these, yeah. Killian has also manipulated the American intelligence agency as the manager's location. Yeah, and again, he kidnaps War Machine, Iron Patriot. He escapes captivity. President Matthew Ellis aboard Air Force One. They figure this out because Tony's able to get us like, "Now, now, now." When he calls the suit to him, which it comes eventually, he shoots these guys down. And cool, I liked it when he was kind of shooting a gun and he had to, Iron Man, hand on his right hand or whatever, or yeah, right hand and left hand, he's like, "Flaps." And one guy's like, "I don't even work here," like, beat it. Um, he saves Rhodes. He gets him out of the suit or whatever because he's gonna run him up and he's gonna fight him. And he blows fire. He's like, really got fire. Can't hurt you. And Eric, who's saving, knocks him out. And they go to kidnap the president. Well, Eric Seven puts on the Iron Patriot suit. You know, doesn't even say anything, and they're so stupid to let him on board. I'm sure they want him to take his mask off or something like that, just to be a little serious. I'm like, he's been gone for a little while, hasn't he? And then he just shows up. Yeah. Instead, they want to use autograph, but Eric pushes in there, lost the attacks the president. He's like, oh, Mr. President, run, kill you. So he puts him in the suit for the suit to take him to Killian, which works. Iron Man comes there, and I did the cool moment with the suit where he fights with Eric Sullivan. He gets these people out, and he's say these 13 people that fall out of the cabin in Air Force One, and he blasts them with the arc reactor out of his suit, and he's like, "Don't walk away from that, you son of a bitch." And he does like the monkey bars. He saves this lady. He can't grab her hand, so she has to grab these people, and they land him in the water. He's like, "Yeah, people go," and the suit gets destroyed, and he's not in the suit. Yeah, but the president gets kidnapped anyway. They fall. He's this container. He intends to kill us on live television. Vice President Rodriguez will assume control of the country. I guess he's a part of it too. We don't really go into that. Definitely, kind of like when Dick Jones killed his character about Morton, when Dick Jones was the leader, but we don't get to see that statistic side of we go for, oh, he's just a bad guy. Is it because he wants extremists? Because he has a daughter who's handicapped and has no leg? Is he trying to get it back? And that daughter, actually, I think, is actually played by a young Jenna Ortiz. You know. But anyway, in exchange, for example, cure his daughter's disability. Okay, I can understand that motivation, but they never really explore that. It's just there. Kalanian will be able to manipulate global events for his own profit. Stark and Rhodes infiltrate the terminal, which again they don't have a suit, so they have to go after the bad CGI extremist people, veterans, to shoot at them and fight them. Decent action. I do like it when he says, "Suits, come on!" and then he brings this armor suits. Even though they don't wear one, there's like this big bulky suit they could wear, and one cool suit that can, knock things down. It's really cool. But I wish Tony would have, and it, you know, get into his War Machine suit, destroy that. I wanted that Iron Tracer suit to be destroyed. I'm sorry. I know you're thinking I'm un-American, but I prefer him as War Machine. But that's just me. Stark summons these. He gets, Rhodey saves the president. He tries to save Pepper. He's like, "Come on, honey," and he thinks she died, and he's like, "Oh, bad," and he becomes bad CGI. Killian does, and they fight. It's a crappy fight. But eventually, he gets the entire suit, the Mark IV, Mark what armor, whatever, on Killian, and he blows him up. You know, but Killian survives, and it's terrible CGI. He's like, "No more faces, Tony. You wanted the mansion? Well, guess what? I'm him. I'm the mansion," and then he gets attacked by Pepper, who survived the fall, and she fights him like a badass. The armor she's going to throw, but she throws the armor suit, grabs the arm out of it, evaporates Killian. Yeah. And again, I hate to say this, but this is just bad CGI in my opinion. But then after that, her and Pepper, they're dating. He gives her a necklace. They share a kiss. Star makes a promise to possibly he'll find a cure for her extremist condition. Or he does. He offers to remotely destroy each of the Iron Man suits, which I don't know why you had to do that in the first place. When I keep them, you can go start. You'll find another home at least. You got the money to do all that. I guess he has the money to rebuild suits too, but I'm like, why not keep them? What's the whole point of blowing them up? But President Rodriguez and Trevor, they're taken to police custody. Target gets extremist conditioning. He goes over to move the piece of shadow embedded in his heart, which was I was fine with that actually. It actually kept him alive. And then he says at the end, he throws the reactor into the sea. As much as even he is nothing, he has nothing. He will always be Iron Man. regardless, which I like that line. And then the movie in credits roll. Start finishes telling the story, and it's just telling it to Bruce Banner, who honestly I was like half of the time I'm either sleeping or I was in the movie, and Tony keeps on yapping on, and I'm like, yeah, I'm like Mark Ruffalo in this movie. I just it seems like Mark Ruffalo himself didn't really want to be here because of the bad writing, and that's Iron Man 3. All right, just to sum up my opinion on Iron Man 3, I don't like this movie. I don't hate this movie, but I was not a fan of it. I don't care for this movie anymore. Honestly, I don't even think I want to keep it in my movie collection anymore. Well, number one, the reason is before I get to my problems, I do like Robert Downey Jr., Gwyneth Paltrow, Don Cheadle. They're all good. Ben Kingsley does good too, but part of the way when he can be the real Mandarin, the cinematography is nice, the editing is fine, the action scenes when they're there, they're pretty good. The music score Brian Tyler when all the Iron Man's suits to show up, armor Mark 4 show up to fight for the final scene in the movie. That was cool. Yeah, but the editing is fine. The film, it feels like a short movie. It's like 130 minutes long. Well, it says but I think it's 130 minutes. It's like 2 or 10 minutes. It goes by at a pretty good pace. Some of it can be entertaining. But now my problem was I didn't now I can't think of anything. Some of the special effects were good. You know, yeah. But my problem with this movie is just the direction and the writing. Shane Black writing, making the movie to avoid magic and mystical, which is, I mean, again, have you seen Thor or Captain America: The First Adventure? You know, mystical, magical. That's like the Tesseract from Captain America: The First Avenger. Have you not seen Thor, Captain America: The First Avenger, the Avengers, the previous movies? But you wanted to avoid all that, so you wanted to go Dark Knight Rises route. The film, the story sucks. I don't care about extremeness. I don't care about aim. Guy Pearce sucks in this movie. He's terrible. He's even worse than Bloodshot, but he's terrible here too. He's annoying. Yeah, when he comes to confront him, comes to find him when he's going all bad, CGI, extremeness, orange Terminator, look-alike motherfucker. He's like this. Oh, is that you in your suit? Looking like a turtle in his turtle suit, cooking. He's annoying. He's irritating. The CGI for the characters when they go to extremeness was terrible. It's like it gives them to regenerate. I'm like, it's awful CGI. Some of the special effects is pretty good, but we don't get enough Iron Man either. We don't get enough of him in the suit. It's just him, having a mechanic suit and him controlling the suit. I want to see him in the Iron Man suit, fighting and in action. At least you got that. Yeah, you can say in the first two Iron Man movies, yeah, we don't get a lot of Iron Man either, but we do at the end of the movie. And second act of Iron Man, we get Iron Man, and it's some cool stuff. The first Iron Man suit, the original suit, always is the best one. Iron Man 2, they do make it work easy, but we get some good action in there too. Some good entertaining scenes in there. And in the Avengers, we get Iron Man plenty of times in the suit fighting and stuff. And it's awesome. In Avengers of Ultron, we get that too. With Ultron is a better villain. He's more of a threat. And he's more insane. Yeah. You know. They went the Dark Knight Rises where, oh, you could have had him be magical, mystical in there. You should have added that in there. Dispense your disbelief. It's a comic book. Comic books probably have magical stuff. Doctor Strange, for God's sake. You know, stupid. And the writing is terrible. Some of the dialogue is not very good. Tony can be. I like Robert Downey Jr., but, him not being Iron Man. I do like the whole thing with PTSD, but I think you should have just had a better villain in the movie, better story. I didn't care about extremeness. And again, they rip off, Batman Forever with killing and looking like Jim Carrey in the beginning. Because let me guess this: he's a nerd. He has aims. He wants to make a deal with Tony. He wants Tony to market it for him, but Tony refuses, and therefore he wants revenge. Yada yada yada. And he's like a nice little. 13 years later, he's like a nice looking guy and rich like Tony Stark. So it's like he's just mesmerized by Tony Stark. Like he just wants revenge. Out of being disrespected. You know, I felt that Tony betrayed him. You know, yeah, I've seen it done before, done better before with Batman Forever and The Incredibles. Or even The Amazing Spider-Man 2. I just say, yeah, I'd rather probably watch The Amazing Spider-Man 2. I'm sorry, the action climactic scene, his father killing that was boring. You know, I didn't need to see him go to Tennessee, and we don't get enough Iron Man in action. That's my problem. I want to see the guy in the suit. Yes, I get it. The film's about Tony Stark, but you want to see the guy in the suit fighting and stuff, and some good action in there. You got to have that as well. You know, it's like Turbo Power Rangers movie. I gotta wait for them to morph. You know, through third act of the movie, they put on the suits and they quickly change out of them to ride these dino cars, whatever. You know, I'm not talking about that right now. This ain't about Power Rangers, but that movie is even worse. And the villain in that movie sucks too. The villain sucks here too. I mean, Killian is one of the worst MCU villains, or the start of it. You know, this is where the Marvel films. First of all, we had great villains when we started out. You had Obadiah Stane Ironmonger, better villain than Killian because Jeff Bridges is not annoying and over the top. As he's in about another comic movie he did that I'm going to review a little here soon. Maybe not today, but anyway, yeah. In Incredible Hulk, you had Abomination, and Iron Man 2. Even though Mickey Rourke was a bit underused, he was great in that. He was a good villain, I thought. Um, Thor. You have Loki, who was good. And Captain America: The First Avenger. Red Skull was an awesome villain, and Loki was an awesome villain facing the Avengers. So more threats that were a lot better, better villains that were not annoying. And have cooking like a turtle cooking his turtle suit. I thought that was lame, and the movie gets boring, and the writing and the directing. Shane Black was not the right guy to do this. I'm sorry. I don't know what happened to him. He wrote just great movies like the first Lethal Weapon movies, Lethal Weapon 1 and 2, The Monster Squad, Last Boy Scout. You wrote some awesome films. Last Boy Scout is definitely underrated in my opinion, and a lot better than this. Yeah. And some of the CGI is just awful. Until they start telling the bad guy, telling the Mandarin his address stupid, and then they make the Mandarin into a joke. You know. And you replace him with Jim Carrey wannabe, Riddler wannabe, who is terrible and annoying. Feels like he's trying to be over the top and silly. I'm talking about Guy Pearce. And the film is kind of boring throughout, and I didn't care about the kid and his relationship with Tony. That didn't mean nothing to me. Some of the humor kind of falls flat there, and honestly, bad CGI. In a film called Iron Man, you barely have Iron Man in it. So, yeah, this is, yeah. For the third film in the Iron Man trilogy, for the final installment, very disappointing. Disappointing into the Iron Man films. They could have done so much better. If Jon Favreau had directed the movie, we could have had a better movie. I wish it was just a movie with him dealing with more of the PTSD, which I like some of that. Him dealing with that and dealing with that frustration and that near death experience, having fear of losing Pepper and the aggravation, losing her and dealing with being stressed out. You could have played more on that. You could have had him in War Machine, Iron Man, go to the cross world to fight him. Tony did it in Iron Man. Went to that country, fought those people, fought and won. When he was trapped in the cave with the 10 rings, he went after them. But in this movie, they don't do that. They could have done that. Could have had a lot more action, and you could have played more in the story as well. That's my problem. The film doesn't have. I don't care about extremeness. I don't care what the plot's with the movie. That's my problem with this movie is the story. I don't care about. Yes, I get it. Tony Stark is Iron Man with or without the suit. I get that, and it was cool to see him in action without the suit. But have him up against a better villain for that. More bad guys for that. I wanted more of that. We didn't get that enough. The movie doesn't explore that enough, in my opinion. You know, it feels like it's just trying to be a big epic battle, or just trying to copy the Dark. It was like Shane Black just wanted to copy the Dark Knight Rises by saying the villains are the villain. I hate that. Just make the villain the villain. Don't say, oh, it's this guy who's the villain. Yeah, that's just stupid. But Iron Man 3, honestly, I'm gonna give this film a thumbs down. My rating for this film, I hate to do it, but since I do enjoy some of the performances, some of the humor works, some of the action is good, especially with Tony is not in the suit. In the suit, CGI, some scenes can be cool. And I do like that place from Krypton. I'm going to give this film 3 out of 5 stars, saying it's a letdown of a movie. Iron Man 3 is okay, but honestly, it's a sense. It's pretty lame. It's kind of boring. It's just what they with the story. I didn't care about it. I'm sorry. My rating for this film once again is 3 out of 5 stars and a thumbs down. This will be a bit of a review slash rant because this is not a full blown rant. I don't fully hate this movie, but I fully don't care for it. I don't really care for it either. I'm not a fan of this film anymore. It's disappointing. It's a letdown of a movie. For the third, I'm for the third film and the last film in the trilogy, it goes on a disappointment in my opinion, and I think it could have been a lot better. In my opinion, it should have been better. But that's my thought and take on Iron Man 3. Tell me down in the comments down below what do you think of Iron Man 3. If you love this movie, that's fine. Some people probably do. If you disagree with me, that's fine. And, you know, but again, there are worse superhero films than this. It is better than Superman 4 Quest for Peace. And I would say Batman and Robin. Yeah, and still, and Spawn is better than those. Turbo Power Rangers a movie, but I'd rather watch Mighty Morphin Power Rangers a movie over this. But that's just me. They've got some dated effects, but that had fun. That was cheesy. That knew what it was. They weren't trying to take anything away from that. At least Power Rangers knew what it was in 1995. You know, different times, yes, but still do it right by having a better story. Ivan Ooze was a better villain and over the top and better than Killian. But overall, a disappointing Marvel flick. So, yeah. Didn't want to do it, guys, but I'm sorry. I just did not care for them. This is my point of view, my opinion. Just tell me, guys, my favorite Iron Man movie, the best Iron Man movie to me is the first Iron Man movie. So, guys, what is your favorite Iron Man film, the Iron Man trilogy? Mine is the first one, of course. And I like Iron Man 2 more than this. That's a lot better sequel. More fun to watch than this. It has problems, but it's a lot better than this. Yeah. And the Avengers, of course, are a lot better. You know, you know, because it had a good story and good characters in it, and a good villain as well. And it was very entertaining, popcorn flick. But it had a good something going for it. It had a lot going for it. This film had nothing going for it. You know, just trying to rush it. You know, but they shouldn't have done that. That's just my opinion. Could have been a better movie, but anyway. So we're going to continue this 113 views. The next two movies. Oh yeah, this is the next two, and then there'll be three more movies. Which these two I don't like. Uh, and the next three I like. And of course, there'll be another MCU movie, but not until November. So, but these films, this was July 3rd when this came out. This starred Johnny Depp and Armie Hammer. It's a Disney film, live action film, and I would consider this a superhero movie, and that is The Lone Ranger. Yes, this will probably be an epic rant because this film sucks too. So stay tuned for Lone Ranger. Oh my god, 149 minutes long. Yeah. Anyway, The Lone Ranger starring Johnny Depp and Armie Hammer. This will be the next review, so stay tuned for this. Yeah. So stay tuned for The Lone Ranger 2013. Thanks for watching, guys. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know, guys, in the comments down below. What do you think of Iron Man 3 in your opinion? Do you like it? Do you hate it? What do you think of Robert Downey Jr.'s Iron Man? And what is your favorite Iron Man movie? Mine is the first one from 2008. So, guys, tell me in the comments down below. What do you think of Iron Man 3 in your opinion? And stay tuned, guys, for the next superhero review. I do consider Lone Ranger a superhero. He's like the great grandfather of, I believe, of the Green Hornet. So, and he is a hero. Yeah, I would count this a superhero movie. That's just me. That is the Lone Ranger. So stay tuned for my next review for the Lone Ranger. Coming up next, thanks for watching, guys. Like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you later. See you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.